Hello and welcome to Stop a Vision. Sorry I've been a bit delayed. I was traveling the world, giving back to the needy with my inside source. He dug deep and he found me the top 5 receivers going into the 2022 NFL Draft. Stay tuned to find out who they are now. Alright, so we're going to use this PFF tool. By the way, you're going to see some highlights above on the right. Don't mind that. That is not my top 5. These are just some highlights to show you the athleticism and the skill set that these wide receivers have in the upcoming NFL draft. That's going to be in 2 weeks. So we're going to give you mad content coming up. Stay tuned, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. All right, we're going to use this PFF tool. PlayerProfiler.com is down right now. Boo, down Player Profiler, PFF. So we're going to go in descending order from 5 to 1, who I think should be the top 5 receivers in this draft. All right, we're going to go with number 1 pick, which is number 5. So we got Drake London here, Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, Olave, and Treylon Burks as PFF's top 5. But we're going to mix it up a little bit. Skyy Moore. Nope. We're going with George Pickens out of Georgia. So this guy, you look at the measurables, 6'3", 195. The skill set for the number 1 alpha receiver on your team. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL last year, so that's kind of what set him back. But we'll look at the stats. 5-star out of Alabama, SEC. Keep that in mind. That's big. So, his freshman year, 14 games played, 726, 8 touchdowns in the SEC. Came on the scene, baller, number 1 receiver for Georgia. That's a big deal. We'll revisit SEC stats later. So, 6 touchdowns in 2020 until he tore his ACL. That's why these numbers are a little skewed. It says 4 games played. He only really dressed out for 4, but he really started 1, so that's why. So, again, minus the ACL, this guy would be considered in the top, he could be even in the top 3. Unfortunately, injuries happen. They are going to work on these ACL injuries. Stem cell, PRP, technology is advancing. ACL injuries are going to be a thing of the past, just not quite yet. But for now, we still have to, unfortunately deal with ACL. So we're going to go with George Pickens. Think of a burner with the height, with the measurables. I'm thinking, not A.J. Green, but maybe a poor man's A.J. Green. He's only 21, so you never know. Sky's the limit. He very well could. Coming on as a freshman in the SEC is pretty unheard of. So let's go with him at 5. All right, now 4. We're going to go for number 4. We're going to go to wide receivers. All right, we can go here. We can go Drake London. No, we're going to go over here. We're going to go Alabama, Jameson Williams. Again, another ACL tear. If he didn't tear his ACL, he would have been top 3 receiver as well. He tore in the national championship, so whoever gets him is going to have a minor setback, but I think it's well worth it. We'll dig deep in the stats. 6'1", 179, 21 years old, a burner. So, all right, you see here, you're going to notice his first 2 years, and I preach on early activity, early stats, but with Alabama and these SEC schools, it actually doesn't matter that much because they have heavy competition. Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, you're going against some of the best. You're not going to perform that early, which George Pickens should probably be higher than him then because he did perform early at Georgia, SEC. So that's a big deal right there. But 1,500 yards, 15 tutties, 20 yards of reception. Burner, think of Jalen Waddle, Henry Ruggs. Again, those guys are all his teammates. They all practice together. He's going to be like that. He's going to be dang good. But be wary. He is the speed guy of the draft, so they are pretty hit or miss. He could be Deshaun Jackson, or injuries could plague him. He could be like a Sammy Watkins. So for now, we're going to put him at 4. So let's take him. All right, boom, 4. All right, so now we got number 3. So now you're probably wondering, all right, are we going to take Drake London? He was on the thumbnail, so we're actually not. We're not going to take Drake London because Drake London sucks. Drake London's not good. He's a poor man's Brand Marshall, Kenny Galladay. He doesn't have the speed. 6'4", they say 6'5" here, 210. He does have the body type. That's the funny thing. Let's look at the stats. So he's 20. He's not even 21 yet, so he's a raw talent. He has the 500 yards his freshman year, and 5 tutties, and then another 500, and then he had that breakout year in 2021. I just think he's slow. I don't think he's going to measure well in the NFL level. College stud. Think of like a poor food stamps version of Mike Evans. I hope he does well. I just don't see him going down the Mike Williams route. The odds of it happening are low unless he's paired with a quarterback that can throw those deep, contested high balls. It depends on where he lands. I just don't see an optimistic future for him. He's not in my top 5. He arguably has the best stats of any of these top 5. So if it wasn't for the weight, and honestly his teammate, again, teammate score should be a thing. Who you're playing with, who you're competing with on any given Saturday, that should matter. So if it wasn't for his other teammate that we'll get into later, he could be number one. So 800 yards, 12 touchdowns, 707, 913 touchdowns, 14 plus receiving yards per catch. I think he's a stud. They put him out wide, so they had a little bit of slot over here, but this guy's going to be out wide. He's going to probably be your number two, not necessarily number one. Think of him like a Stephon Diggs type. Pretty good, fast. One of the probably the best route runner in this draft. Maybe a faster Keenan Allen. So whoever gets him, you're getting a stud. Ohio State, they know what they're doing. All right, let's take him. All right, we got two left. Who we going with? Our only options are Garrett Wilson or Treylon Burks. I'm going Treylon Burks. We got Deebo Samuel here. We got Jack Percy Harvin. He can do it all. 6'2", 225. Besides Drake London, the best body type in this draft. 22 years old. He racked up 1,100 yards and 11 scores last season as a junior. This guy has the body type. Let's see if the stats are there. Boom. 1,100, 11 touchdowns, 811, and 7. See here, he was in the slot 222 times and less out wide. So think of like a Julian Edelman. Think of... Not necessarily Julian, but someone bigger. So like Debo, Juju when he was his rookie year, but bigger and stronger. So this guy's good. I almost put him at number one. Unfortunately, I couldn't because number one is just too safe of a pick, too guaranteed to be good. But right here, Treylon Burks, think of him in New England or somewhere where they're going to utilize his skill set. Put him in San Fran. Get rid of Debo. Get Treylon Burks. Boom, you got the same guy, no problem. So number one. We're going to go with the other Ohio State receiver, Garrett Wilson. Guaranteed hit. This is not that great of like a top-heavy of a draft class, but it's more depth-based. So later in the draft, you can get like a Skyy Moore, these guys. But Garrett Wilson, think of a Michael Thomas. This is who I meant for Julian Edelman. 20 targets, just peppering him with the ball. So 6 foot, 183. Again, they'll give him the needle diet and he'll get stronger. So high level, both the slot and the outside. This guy's going to be a stud. He's going to be so dang good. So look at that. 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 700. So Olave actually has better stats, but I think in the NFL he's going to translate better, Garrett Wilson being. I think he's going to just be the number one receiver on your team. Start throwing him the rock, and he's going to do great things. So put him at number one. Number one in the class. Number one is in your receiving core. So this guy, can't miss prospect. Look at that. 16.8. 16.8. That's crazy, man. And then 15. He actually had higher average yard catch than Olave. So Garrett Wilson is our number one. We'll go ahead and just take him for good measure. But hey, off-season is coming to an end here shortly. NFL draft 2 weeks away. We're going to provide you that content. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss out. Till then, peace.